Yeah, so in this case, right, we may need to take over, but we'll see.
Let's see. Yeah, it's just blocking the traffic. Look at that. I'm here in San Francisco and Nvidia invited me to test out a car that nobody has ever sat in, driven in, except for the Nvidia team. Now the car itself isn't a new car. It's what drives the car that's insane. This is the brain behind every self-driving car out there. Zoox, Waymo, Lucid, and Mercedes. And if you guys don't know who Nvidia is, Nvidia is like one of the world's most valuable companies in the world, more than Apple and even Amazon. So today I'm gonna be able to ride in a car that's being powered by Nvidia's secret self-driving computer. And I have a few questions. One, what can it actually do? And does it actually work the way they say? Two, how is it compared to the competitors like Waymo and Rivian and Tesla? And three, is this actually the future where all cars are gonna be using the Nvidia self-driving chip? And if so, I need to buy some more Nvidia stock. So let's find out. Okay, so we're here with the driver, and then we also have someone from Nvidia in the back.
Hi, my name's Armand, and I'm a senior product manager here at Nvidia working on AVs on our user experience team.
I'm so excited. We have to back out of here. Since this is an early beta version, it couldn't exit the parking spot on its own yet. So the safety driver had to drive manually. We're engaged now.
Yeah.
Just like that? Did you push a button or anything? Oh, that's it. But then the safety driver turned on self-driving and the story changed fast. Almost immediately we encountered obstacles like double parked cars. It saw what the cars ahead did, chose the same path and went around smoothly.
That's an out of lane nudge. It puts a signal to know that it's gonna invade the adjacent lane, and then it comes back.
Got a little obstacle here. Let's see what Jensen's gonna do. And I named the Mercedes Jensen. Nice, signaled. That's crazy. Jensen did a great job. Then construction. No lane markings at all.
So there's no lane markings.
Exactly.
The pavement's really rough.
Yeah.
Right, but the model has the context to understand, okay, this guy ahead of me is driving in this lane. I understand that, yes, this lane may have disappeared, but this is in fact a lane that I can drive in.
We had bikers on the road. It was cautious, no issues. Then came the moment I was waiting for. The kind of situation older versions of Tesla's FSD sometimes struggled with.
There we go. Oh, it's a dedicated green. It's still not going. So I pushed on the accelerator there. Oh, it doesn't know what to do.
A dedicated green right arrow, but straight was red. I expected hesitation, but Jensen understood it instantly and drove through like a human would. So one thing I realized is that you guys have been in the T word before, right? You guys know that
T word.
Like Tesla.
Sure.
Like they're all like purely vision-based, camera only. They're very firm in that. And I don't know if you've been in like the latest release, which is V14. I mean, I'm pretty shocked at how amazing it is. Like being able to back out, do everything from start to finish is pretty cool. How's Nvidia approach to that?
So, Tesla has a great product, right? I've used FSD, I've used, all the variations, V12, V13, V14. It's an incredible product, very capable. We appreciate kind of how they're bringing AVs to more people, right? And people get to experience that type of product. What we're doing with our stack here is we have both our end-to-end model and our classical stack running at the same time. 95% of this driving you're going to see here today is running off that end-to-end model. The end-to-end model has been trained, okay, if I see this no turn on red sign, I can't make a right turn. But then our classical stack, where it's rule-based, right, has also been written such that if we detect a no right on red sign, we won't make a right on red. So both stacks in this case have had that tone.
Pardon, would you repeat that, please?
The car is listening.
And just when I started trusting it like another driver on the road, we ran into something new. Not a human mistake, another self-driving car. Wow, this is, okay, so now we got some intense stuff going on. We got a self-driving Waymo. He's signaling he wants to go, but our self-driving car wants to go. The crazy thing is, I think it saw the Waymo signal.
I thought it was going to cut it.
Exactly, and it slowed, did a preemptive slowdown.
Yeah, so we can detect the turn signals, right, hazard lights, those things, right, and then we use that to determine what do we think the other car is going to do.
But then we encountered another Waymo. We started going, but Waymo also started going, so we broke hard. Ugh. And the Waymo also broke and let us go. Battle of the self-driving vehicles. Thank you. So far, overall, the ride was smooth. One thing I noticed is there's no jerkiness. So far, everything has been smooth and fluid. The steering wheel is not going like this, not really unsure what to do. Oh, this is a chill drive so far. Where's all the action? Ooh, this is gonna be fun. I mean, not fun for the person that the ambulance has been called on, but I see an ambulance up there. Does it know that there's an ambulance? Will it slow down, yield, pull over?
So not yet. We're still, like I said, still early builds.
This is gonna be the first intervention. This is insane. We have a fire truck up there, just a cool fire truck hanging out. We have pedestrians coming, we have cars coming on this side. We can't even go straight even if we wanted to.
So yeah, so actually you can see it thought, okay, can I go yet? Nope.
Yeah, exactly, because there's a car there. It's blocking the intersection.
Yeah, let's not, create a gridlock situation, right? So it'll stop and kind of keep that gap.
It was finally our turn, but then a biker came out of nowhere. Oh, look at that. And it yielded for the biker.
Yeah, so in this case, right, we may need to take over, but we'll see.
Let's see. Only at the most necessary.
Yeah, in this case.
Because it's just blocking the traffic.
Yeah, so
look at that.
All right, so it wants to see.
Come on. I think it's because the flashing lights. It even crosses the double yellow, drives on the opposite side of the road, and proceeds very cautiously. This is insane.
It sees the people.
It sees the people there.
Must be real cautious.
Yep, hello. Wow, thank you, bus driver. Look at this. Look at that. Doesn't hit that either. Wow.
Yeah, a pretty complicated scenario.
Yeah, and there's a four-way stop sign and it still knows. Wow. One huge difference with like Tesla Rivian is that they push constant software updates to the vehicle, new updates to make the car so much better, which is why my Tesla's gotten better over time. Mercedes, is that something that they're gonna do in the future as well?
Yeah, so the platform itself, right, these cars are being shipped in Europe, right? Right now, the US launch is obviously happening as we speak, right? So they'll continue to receive over-the-air updates to improve the performance and enhance the capabilities as time goes on.
Up to this point, I was genuinely impressed, but then it did something that really caught me off guard. Yes, my way. Oh, he's coming, sorry. Oh, sorry. So did it see the hand sign of the...
Yeah, you can then proceed. Yeah, so we
it
can
did,
understand
right?
some of that. Yeah, it's exciting.
That's so cool, because we went in her way because she was coming in at the same time. We stopped though, but the lady went like this, and then we ended up going. This is really good. Saying that from someone who has FSD 14. Wow, you guys chose like the best place to do it. This is like the most chaotic I've ever seen SF.
We wanted to highlight the capabilities.
You guys weren't kidding. You guys aren't sugarcoating anything. You're not hiding anything here today. But just when I thought Nvidia could handle all of San Francisco chaos, we encountered a tricky situation. A distracted human driver suddenly went and almost ran into us. Oh! Dang, girl, slow down.
Nice and cautious, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go out of order, no problem.
I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back at the footage, it seems like self-driving actually disengaged. The driver briefly took the wheel and then re-engaged self-driving. So when the system, let's just say I bought this car and something happens, I have to disengage. Does that get set automatically to Nvidia for them to analyze?
Again, assuming you opt in and everything like that, right? Mercedes gets that data, and actually we then get a sanitized version of that data. So block out any license plates, any people, any faces, things like that, and then we'll actually get that scene with all that information removed, and then we can use that to add to our training sets. But we have to remember this isn't even a public product yet, and considering that, it's actually pretty good. The build that we're experiencing today is still a developmental build, right? But this product will be available next year, so Mercedes will announce pricing and details of that. You guys are the first to see it. It was early access just for you. Exactly, that's the insane part. I still can't believe that. I was just saying it, felt like I was getting an Apple product for the first time that's not even released out to the public yet. Like, I'm pretty surprised at how natural and smooth it is. I don't feel unsafe. In a world where humans are constantly distracted. Oh, San Francisco! She's not even looking. Imagine the whole world self-driving. Doesn't matter what car you have, Mercedes, Rivian, whatever, Tesla. I feel like it would be a much safer place. You know, a camera doesn't... Sorry. A camera doesn't get tired. Then another car decides to pull a U-turn in the middle of the street. And the guy who U-turned right in front of us, no problem. We can come to a stop. Yep, it's perfect.
carrying on. Oh, and he's now doing a little parallel part. Oh, he's an SF person for sure. That is clean. Nice job. I always thought Nvidia was just behind the hardware part for Lucid, Pebble, Waymo. Is that what's going on, or is Nvidia actually behind the scenes analyzing all the data, interpreting everything?
We're an ecosystem enabler. You've heard Jensen say it. Anything that moves can be autonomous. Any of your partners can take as much or as little as they want from our ecosystem, whether it's just using us to train their models and using our accelerated compute in order to do that, or using our simulation capabilities to, to help them train their models, or actually using the hardware, right? So you can take as much or as little, doesn't matter, it's all open source, it's all available, right? And you can choose what you want to do. What we're doing here, right, you can see we've worked both on the hardware and the software side here in this case, right? So that way you can come and experience what a finished product could look like.
And then with the Mercedes, at least, they have radar and cameras.
But this platform is using 10 cameras on the exterior of the vehicle and 5 radars.
Do you know how much extra it's going to cost to put like the self-driving features on, let's say, a Mercedes?
Yeah, I'm not sure, unfortunately.
Oh, sorry. Cancel. Now, do you have custom driving profiles, or let's just say someone wants to be a little quicker?
That is really up to what the manufacturer wants to do with their platform.
So Nvidia helps their partners achieve whatever level of autonomy they want, whether it's level 2, where the driver is still responsible and must be alert.
It's by product, right? So in this case, the goal for this car, this platform, this product is an L2++ system.
Okay. Or even up to level 4, where the cars can be driverless.
But Nvidia is also working on that level 3, level 4 capabilities where your attentiveness, right, can be, you can take your eyes off the road if you want to, even your mind off. See that in the near future, right, where we will have that type of experience that we'll work on with our partners.
Oh, that's crazy. And you could accomplish that purely with just cameras and radar.
For the level 3 and level 4, our platforms will also use LiDAR as well on those platforms.
But I realized Tesla is already running Robotaxi at L4 level with no laser. So I had to ask Jinzhou, Nvidia's head of autonomous vehicles, do you think it can handle everything safety-wise with just purely radar and vision?
Well, I don't want to comment on Tesla's approach. But from our perspective, 2++ system, we are mostly basically camera plus radar approach. We are pretty comfortable about where we are. And for L3, because of the full sensor redundancy requirement, we do believe that adding additional sensor modality is very important, as there will be LiDAR in it for L4. We believe sensor diversity and sensor redundancy is critical and essential for L3 and L4.
But sensors aren't the whole story. What's equally important is the chip. Mercedes L2++ runs on Nvidia's Orin like many cars today, but true L3 and L4, that's where Nvidia Thor comes in. Is Thor supposed to be more performance?
So that's our next generation that's coming out.
Eventually will it be in these cars or?
Not on this platform.
Okay. Nvidia's Thor is a full self-driving supercomputer packed with advanced AI cores and massive processing power to run the largest neural networks for L3 and L4 autonomy. Other cars like Tesla's AI4, by contrast, is what's in cars today, optimized for vision-only processing and efficiency. And now other automakers like Lucid are turning to Thor to push cars even closer to true autonomy. Like Lucid, for instance, one big claim they have is that they're fully level 4 autonomy ready. Because the Lucid has laser and all that stuff. And of course you guys are working with them too, so it's only a matter of time, I think, potentially until we get something like that.
Yeah, so as you saw, that's more news on that is coming soon. So, our level 4 initiatives, we're really excited for those. So we have another double park vehicle, we've got a jaywalker.
This is intense. Finally, this is the true SF experience right here. Okay, what's he gonna do? Good. Good. Oh, there's an Apple store here? Susie Cakes? Where are we? It's crazy because I just did the Rivian AI day. I was like, there's no other car company that's coming close to what Tesla's doing, making its own silicone, doing all that stuff, being able to drive itself on city streets as well as Tesla. And Rivian is like a step in that right direction. And then Rivian was really, really cool, but they had a good amount of mistakes, so it's like very beta. But should have done this first. It's crazy because Mercedes and Nvidia, with Nvidia of course, is doing that, or is about to do that. But even though I was impressed with the first Nvidia drive, it's still a work in progress, and I did notice a few more mistakes. There was some hesitation going straight when an oncoming car had its turn signal on. So a little bit of phantom braking there because I thought maybe the Mercedes was going. So it's not 100% perfect, which is totally fine because this is like the first public, semi-public release. Okay, so we got a lot of people, we got unprotected left coming up. This guy's trying to turn right. He knows it's his turn. It took a little long to turn left. He's coming and he's going. He's going. Causing it to cut close in front of an oncoming car. And it does creep forward a bit aggressively, but in San Francisco, that type of assertiveness is necessary. Is that intentional, like just to be a little bit more on the aggressive side? So, hey, look, I'm gonna go next.
But there are times, right, where you need to kind of assert and not get cut off by other people, right?
Yeah.
Human drivers, right, might be unpredictable, right? So they may not follow the right-of-way order. So there are times where we find that we need to assert, right, in a right-of-way scenario where we say, hey, we're actually going to go next now.
Now, one thing I did want to know, and I think a lot of other car brands have this problem, is that they use the maps to kind of figure out where you go. Like, what happens when there's a road closure, construction? Can Nvidia think well enough where it realizes that it needs to readjust and readapt, even though the maps says it shouldn't be going that way? Because this happened with the robotaxi.
So there's different types of maps. You can get information of that from a map provider where it'll tell you exactly, hey, if you're in this lane, this is what you can do. That's not what we're doing here. This is our mapless product, right? So it's not using an HD map. Then we have our kind of standard definition SD maps, right? Or used for navigation. We use that information for routing, right? But for the actual trajectory planning, it's all based off what the car can see from the cameras and radar data.
Now, it's safe to assume that the cameras are reading the street signs, reading the no turn on red, doing a certain amount of times correct, or is that something still, oh, it can?
Yep, so you can see the no turn on red sign.
Yep.
We're still fine tuning some pieces on the timing.
Okay.
That's a difficult challenge for us, but you will see there's a no turn on red on this route.
Keep clear, I think it sees the sign. Yep, it sees it, it says to keep clear. So it's not pushing past it until it can safely make it. No turn on red, we finally made it. Let's see what happens. All right, let's go. We're gonna take over. Oh no, it's too smart. There we go, it's going. It knows not to be in the far right lane either. But then we reached a crowded intersection with the fire truck making a wide turn. Ooh, this is a big one. Yeah, crosswalk. We got this guy coming in. And it actually shifted over to give it space. Holy. Look. Oh. Oh. Lord have mercy.
So it kind of biased to the right.
Yeah, it did. How many miles of data do you have right now on training and all that fun stuff?
We've got nearly 1 million different clips of data that we use, and then we're data collecting additional data that we can use to train the model. So the base of the model is all trained on real human driving data.
Yeah.
Then we layer in internet clips, video clips, data collection clips on top of that to then reinforce certain aspects, right? So if we have a specific scenario that we want to highlight, right? Like, let's say unprotected left turns, right? We can then create a specific set of data that's curated to improve certain aspects.
However, one challenge the Tesla Robotaxi and Waymo had is that it would not go through the famous Lombard Street. Even though there's homes on Lombard Street, it's an address there. It'll either drop you off at the top or the bottom of it. However, if I use my Tesla, my personal car, on FSD, it'll actually go through it. Will this car or will Nvidia do that eventually? Any road, any possibilities?
I have not personally tried our stack on Lombard yet, so it's a good one. I'll put it on my to-do list. But the goal, right, again, to kind of our mapless concept is to be able to handle a situation like that, right? If your home was on Lombard Street, right, could you set Lombard, your address on Lombard, and we'll drive there and take you home.
But then we encountered a steep, classic San Francisco hill. This is a steep incline, holy. One thing that like the vision-based system has a problem with is hills like this or like the bumps where it can't see what's going on in front of it. Then it'll freak out and disengage.
We have some context to hills, right? We know that, hey, we're approaching a crest of a hill, right? Maybe we should slow down or be a little cautious as we approach, right? Because you don't know what's on the other side.
Yeah, it's just like a human. Slowing down, cautious.
You don't want to hit the bottom of the hill at high speed.
Yeah. And it made me wonder, what about low visibility conditions like fog and sun? Something an older version of my Tesla FSD struggled with.
There's a level of degradation or blockage that the system can accept. We've worked on trying to make sure that it can be engaged as much as possible, right? And if it gets to a point where it's not confident in the perception of the world, then you'll get some instrument cluster icons that'll pop up and ask the driver to take over.
Got it. But surprisingly, in the latest FSD V14, it handles it even better than a human would. Crazy thing is we've been talking for like 10 minutes now, and I thought my boy was just driving this whole time, but really he's not. I was actually expecting it to be a little bit jerkier, kind of like more unfinished beta software. I thought you would have to take over a lot more. Still no intervention. Come on, give me one. One intervention.
Your intervention.
He did it! Intervention, he took over. Good job, Nvidia. My stock thanks you. I'm just kidding, I don't have Nvidia stock. Or do I? Oh, that was crazy. That was the most boring ride I've ever been on. In a good way. I thought coming here today, I would be faced with like a lot of difficult decisions to make. Not sponsored by Nvidia, by the way. And I thought Nvidia's gonna have a lot of problems, especially when SF, where it's super crazy, super insane. Overall, this feels like a real step in the right direction. For something that's still pre-public, it performed shockingly well. We had fire trucks, we had people in the middle of the road, cars everywhere, double yellows, double rainbows. With technically one intervention, especially in San Francisco. That alone says a lot about how confident Nvidia is. What stood out to me most is that autonomy isn't limited to one brand anymore. Nvidia is providing the platform, the chips, and the simulation tools so that any automaker that wants to build self-driving can do it. That's how companies like Mercedes, Lucid can catch up faster. Even though Rivian announced that they're making their own chip, I found out Nvidia is still helping them behind the scenes.
For Rivian, we are still working with them basically in many other ways. And if customers think that they have the capability to build their own silicon, this is the in-car computer part, and build their software, we will try to help there as well. Again, we're happy to help customers in whatever way we can have.
Today, Tesla's FSD V14 is still the best consumer system out there. They're the pioneers who brought this to the public first. But Nvidia is making autonomy more accessible. So instead of just one company leading alone, the whole industry starts moving forward, and that's how driving gets safer, faster than anyone expected.
Our main mission is help make everything that moves to be autonomous.
I am excited and shocked for the future. I can't wait to see what happens next. That was cool though.
There were a lot of really good variables.
There were, and I thought,
Sure.
okay,
Yeah.
this time for Mercedes, it's time for
Take
the
over.
drive. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, Mercedes cancel.
Could you repeat your input, please?
Cancel Mercedes voice assistants. So you just have to say Mercedes, huh? Oops, I said it again. Creators who went to the Mercedes thing. I say, are you here for the Mercedes thing? I said, no. Mercedes didn't invite me. I'm sorry, I said it again.
Can you say it again, please?